Hey guys, it's MC Fix It here. I just got this from FLEXIMOUNTS. This is the GR48BH. It's a 4 foot by 8 foot adjustable height ceiling storage rack and also comes with some hooks as well. This thing is tested for 600 pounds. The height adjustment from your ceiling is 22 to 40 inches and it is 96 inches long. You do want to make sure you get some studs on both sides of these, so I'll show you how to do that and how I installed this in my garage. I'll go through all the tools and the supplies as well, and then just let you guys know what I think about it. I want to show you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of what it looks like when it's finished, and so we'll go ahead and show you that now. One thing I did want to mention is FLEXIMOUNTS is a US company dedicated to providing effortless storage and organizational solutions for garage and home. Their products are highly rated on Amazon, and their classic garage racks being the best sellers, trusted by many for their quality and innovation. And so you can see that right here as really well put together, very strong. All of the bolts and nuts are quality and is going to last me a whole lifetime. I do like their system to really make sure that you are in the joist above you, making sure you hit the wood, and you can move those around as needed to wherever you want to put your rack. I wanted it in this corner because it's not very well used, and I think it looks really good. So go ahead and cut all the way around and then lift up, and you will see everything you need to do this project. The racks, the hardware, all of that is right inside of here. Now we need to get down to the user manual down here so we install this correctly. So go ahead and spend some time reading over this so you know exactly how to do this project, but we're going to show you as well how I did this. We're going to continue to go ahead and get the rest of the stuff out of the box. So here's what you have in the box. This right here is your ones for the ceiling. This is what all comes in the box. You have the 4 racks, and then you have the angle for the ceiling, and then you have some tools and supplies in here, and then you have what hangs down, and then these go on the side of it, and then they also gave me some accessory hooks, which look really sweet as well, so can't wait to be able to use all that and show you how it goes together. Here are the tools and the supplies that I used for this. You could get away with doing less, but this is what I think works really well for this project. Get a good drill with a big drill bit. I used 2 different drills to actually tighten things down. One of them is a ratcheting wrench because I installed mine so close to the wall. You're going to want something small like this. And then I used 2 different bits. One of them is a 13mm socket, and then a number 5 hex key. I did use a number of these. I think it was 12 washers, and so those are pretty inexpensive, but I think it helps add a little bit more security to this. I used a laser light. You don't have to have this. It is kind of cool to be able to use it and get things lined up. Makes it a little quicker, especially if you're doing it solo. A tape measure that's at least 8 foot long, a Sharpie to mark things or a pencil, and then a knife to cut things open. That's what I used. It does come with 2 tools as well. I did not end up using either of those. These just save a lot of time. Instead of doing it all by hand, you're able to get the project done a lot quicker. But if you don't have that, you definitely can get away with just having a Allen key and that 13mm. I also used some step ladders. So step 1 is to install the ceiling brackets. And so these right here are our ceiling brackets. Then it has the tools and supplies in this box. You could use this right here after you've drilled, but A little cheat is a 13 millimeter. We'll get it on there much faster. Make sure you have a drill bit that is the correct size for your fasteners. Then I am going to use washers to just help make it a better fit, and so you can do that as well. These are just pretty standard size washers. Let's go ahead and start to install it. So I do have a little bit of a cheat here. I do have a laser line for where I want the back of the bracket to go. So in my garage, you can see the drywall is placed up, and you can also see where the joists are. So as you look, you can just see where they screwed in everything, and that shows you right where the joists are. If you don't have that, or they've patched it up, make sure to get a stud finder to be able to find each one of the studs. So you're going to put the angled bracket to where there is the piece facing down against the wall here. And then I'm going to mark the studs, and so I'm just going to put a little Sharpie mark, and then I'll go to the other side and do the same thing. Then we'll go ahead and drill that. And if you're not hearing that you're hitting a stud, go ahead and make sure to fix that and make sure you're hitting studs. Get a stud finder and make sure it works right. Next is go ahead and grab one of those lag bolts and go ahead and use a 13 millimeter and tighten it down and in there. And then you'll do the same thing for the other side. That right there looks great. We'll just keep doing that down the way. Since I want this in the corner, I'm going to mark about 4 inches away from the wall on kind of both sides. And we'll go ahead and get a tape measure because we'll need to make it 48 inches from that spot to the next center of the spot. So let's go ahead and do that. Cut all this. So now that you got the 48, we need to go ahead and do this to where it will go on here. So this one's pretty obvious. It's going to go right here, and the next one will go right there. Go ahead and grab your bolt and your drill with the 13 millimeter. And then this one will be pretty obvious right here because it's just going to be in this crack. Go ahead and drill the 2 pilot holes. Go ahead and bolt it down. That right there is good. You got all 3 of those done. We're going to go ahead and do the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and they'll be 48 inches this direction. So those were all installed like this. These ones will be the opposite. You'll have the railing sitting this direction. so then when you're bolting it in, it goes in securely. So the center of where this is going to be is 6 inches, so we're going to go ahead and mark this at 6 inches. So we need to measure 48 inches from that bracket, which puts us right here. And you'll just repeat the exact same thing you did for the first 3 on this set. And your final result for these brackets should look just like this. You do want to double check to make sure everything is the correct length. They should be 48 inches apart, so always double check your work before moving on to the next step. So the next step is to assemble the vertical post. So you're going to need a tape measure, another 13 millimeter. You can use the tube that it comes with, and we're going to be using number 7 and number 8 right here. And then these in the bigger box to be able to do the vertical supports. And so I'll walk you through how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the number 7 and number 8 and go ahead and put them in this little tray here. It is nice that these are numbered so you know when you're going to be using everything and clearly identified on the package. So I think it is helpful to organize each one of them by the kind of the shape that each one of them has. Each of them look just a little bit different. So that's what I have done here. So I'm going to reposition these for how they are going to actually look. So the ones that have this little loop here, you'll have 2 of those, and then you'll have 2 just completely straight 90s. Then the center ones have this extra little piece, and then this extra little lip. Then the other side has 2 and 2. You'll have the opportunity to make these between 22 inches and 40 inches, depending on your garage size. And so I'm going to show you what I did for my measurements. And I think I want it at 27 inches. And that will keep us above the cabinet and the door as well, 27 inches. So that worked right there. I wasn't even planning on it being perfect, but that worked perfect. So 27 inches long. I'll go ahead and put it just like that. It does have a little thread lock on the end of it, like the plastic kind. Just, you're not killing it down, you're just kind of slowly tightening it down. And you will put it in the first one and the last one. And it is important that the squared side does go with the bolt first. And then the nut goes on the side with the circle. We're going to tighten all these down really tight when we get it on there. And you're just going to repeat this. You should just be able to kind of line things up for the next couple and just keep at it. So one thing I accidentally did wrong on these 4 here, I should have done the bolts on each side, so I do need to take these off and redo that. It's a pretty quick fix. But as you're doing this, make sure to have one on one side and then the other on the other. So this is what I should have done, where one bolt is here and one bolt is here. So that is my bad for messing that up. That just gives you a little bit more stability in this. So we need to do that with the other 3. So again, each one of these of the 4 sides should have one bolt on each side of this. We'll go ahead and install them. So to be able to install these brackets, you need number 11 and 12. So we're going to go ahead and get those bolts out and then start showing you how to install it. So these vertical posts that I'm about to install need to be placed between the 2 bolts. So if I had a bolt that was like over here and a bolt over there, but there was none here, I could not hang it here. But since I put it about the furthest distance you can hang it on any one of these and tighten it down, which is great. So we need to go ahead and install this piece. Do make sure that this bracket is facing this way, and it should be a 90 degree like this. You're going to choose where you want to put it. You have to put it between the 2 bolts, anywhere here. I'm going to choose here because I want it pretty close to the wall. And so I'm going to go ahead and stick this in on here. Get a nut ready as well. because we'll just put this in by hand to start it. And then once it's in by hand, I have a little ratcheting tool here that we will ratchet it down. Just like that. That looks really solid there. We'll go ahead and do the next two of them. Same concept, except we're going to have a different bracket this time. This is the bracket we're going to be using. You're going to want it 48 inches from the previous bracket. I'm going to go ahead and get that started, and I'll grab my ratcheting wrench. That right there looks great. We'll go ahead and go to the next one. Go ahead and spin that on there. Get your ratcheting wrench and tighten down. And then you're going to do the same thing for these 3 posts, making sure it's 48 inches from each one of the vertical posts. The 6 vertical posts are ready, so we'll go ahead and work on the base next. So make sure to have the grates oriented actually upside down for this, because it's going to just make it easier, because we're not going to be able to do it the correct side. So these are all flipped upside down, which means you have the ability to tighten things down. And so what we're going to do is be using the next 2 sets of bolts. We need to connect them together, and then also add little braces, and the braces are in this box. And so all of these use an Allen key or a 5mm Allen key on a drill like this, which I think this will help a lot getting this tightened down quickly. Let's go ahead and dump those into our tray, and we'll have all those nice there and handy. I probably will speed this up once I do one of them, but I do want to show you initially how to get started. And here are those brackets that I was talking about. It is an L-shaped bracket as well. And you want this piece to go on the side that is going downward. So it'll actually be sticking up. It'll be like here. So you'll have one bracket here, one bracket there, one there, and one here. The center one has that little piece that's hanging down, and that's what will hold the center together. Let's go ahead and start working on getting these fastened down. So go ahead and make sure each and every one of them is tightened down properly. Then the next step is to go ahead and place in the wire grid system that we just connected it all. And you will see the little clips that go in. So you will see it needs to slide into there, and then we will bolt them down. Each of the outside brackets, all 4 corner brackets, have 1 bolt, and then the center one has 2, and they are right here. And you're going to use that same Allen wrench key. This is doable with 1 person, but it really does help to have a second person. So if I didn't already have those 2 cabinets, I don't think I would have been able to do it myself. But because I did, I can kind of lean it on that, and then we'll tighten everything down and use those bolts. and get it to where it is nice and sturdy. So I'm going to switch over to my ratcheting wrench because we're going to need it on the other side. And now you have 5 more of the vertical posts to tie in the base. And so go ahead and do that and make sure they're tightened down tightly. This kit also comes with these 2 different things. It's got a utility hook, and this bolts onto the side, or it's got flat hooks that hook in and through the grate on it. So we'll go ahead and install these as well. You're going to use the included hardware for the hook, and you're going to use a 13mm, and you will just find a place that doesn't already have a bolt in it, and choose your location, how high you want it to go. Go ahead and put the bolt in, and then put the nut on by hand, and then go ahead and tighten it down. It also comes with a 4-pack of flat hooks, so we're going to try these out as well. Now these can be hooked anywhere by simply going up and through and over, just like that. I'll show it the other direction as well. And that right there just allows it to hook on. So those 4 hooks can be placed anywhere in the grid system, which is pretty nice, and do have a good amount. I'm pulling it pretty hard and it's just barely budging, so those are pretty awesome as well. I'm glad it came with that and the other 2 hooks. So this is what it looks like when it is complete. It is 8 foot by 4 foot and then 27 inches top to bottom. Looks really sharp. Bolts, everything seemed really solid. This thing looks like it's going to hold a lot of weight. It does say it can hold up to 600 pounds. I am not personally going to test that. If you want to, go for it. It says it was test rated at 1,200 pounds and it was successful, but they give a 600-pound rating. And so you can see it is a flex mount and overall looks really solid. We're going to go ahead and load this thing up, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts and review. Let's go ahead and load this up with all of our gear. So you can fill it with all kinds of goodies to give you more floor space in your garage. Here are my final thoughts on the FLEXIMOUNT 4x8 overhead garage storage rack. First thing, I like that it is adjustable and you're able to use all of this space up here that normally is just empty. And so overall, I really like this product. I think it seems really strong. It does say it holds up to 600 pounds. They tested it at 1,200, which is pretty great that they even did testing on it, and it seems like it is made really well. Hey guys, it's MC Fix-It here. I want to show you how you can use this. Hey guys, it's MC Fix-It here. I have a new product to show you guys. I've already installed it. It is this garage rack. This thing is really awesome. It holds up to 600 pounds, gives you some additional space in your garage that you normally wouldn't even be using, and so I'm excited to try this thing out and give you guys my full take and review on it. Go ahead and look down in the description and you'll see a link to the Amazon store where this can be found. If you've not done so yet, make sure to subscribe to MC Fix-It. Give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.